surprise, right?
Right.
And so, like last time we played, you weren't there, right? Last Thursday?
No, I wasn't.
So we had this encounter with these demons and like,
Thornock somehow just like eyes glazed over.
yeah, he did rage in and started attacking everything. Jeez. Lunira was like talking to these demons and like, turns out they work for the cult, but she was trying to like reason with them and persuade them, just whatever. And I was stealthed at the time. And I was just like, you know, screw this, I'm not negotiating with, you know, people working for the cult. And I just like attacked with terrorists because I wanted to have a surprise round. And like, I totally 100 to 0'd like one of the guys. Like I just straight up killed him like before the surprise round was even over. And I was just like, yes, that's what I want to be able to do every time. But like you just can't, because most of the time, you know, you're just kind of jumping into combat with everybody else. So it's like, it's almost like to take full advantage. To take, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it's like,
let's call a spade, man.
Well, but it's also, it's tough to like, you know, when there's 6 people in the party, you're like, okay, you can't do anything again, because I'm gonna stealth in here and like spend 5 or 10 minutes, you know, just by myself, playing by myself and scouting out the thing. And that gets annoying for the other 5 people every single time. Be like, okay, we gotta wait for Ari to set up, and you know, and so I get it. I mean, it's, you know, it's almost like it would be best to have a sword as an assassin, or maybe just like 2 assassins. Yeah, like 2 or 3 or 4 assassins that are just on like some epic heist
fun one-shot
module.
It's like we have to like kill a rival politician or whatever.
No, I get it. I think the Assassin's campaign would be super cool. Like a rogue campaign. Yeah, that would be sweet.
It'd be like Ocean's 11.
Yeah, that's so cool.
See how this works. That's his cozy strokes. Alright. Make sure all the microphone, everything's going. We good? How's the microphone? Is it peaking or can you hear everybody okay?
I can hear everyone okay.
Okay, cool. Well, welcome everybody. The stream started now, so quick announcements. We are still doing Extra Life 2018. I'm trying to remember what year it is now. So far, we have raised $215.
Nice.
So that was always good. Big thank you to one of our sponsors, Payrock, who actually was a large donation, large part of that donation. So if anyone wants to participate in paying for, or in like either donating, or if you just want to just play games and help benefit kids and Children's Miracle Network, check it out at fuzzy-squirrel.tv. That's going to take you to our Twitch page. That's fuzzy-squirrel.tv, all one word. Other announcements. This week we're going to be doing a one-shot again. Our normal stuff is, our cadence is changed a little bit because of BlizzCon. BlizzCon?
Yeah.
Is BlizzCon going on right
Is that
now?
what it is?
Oh, is that why?
That's why Corey
can't.
Yeah, so
we're
we...
setting up for that for tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow.
Corey, Casey, everybody, Scott, we miss you. Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing tonight. If you guys have any other Halloween happened yesterday.
Happy Halloween yesterday.
Happy Halloween yesterday.
Happy November.
Okay, but otherwise, yeah, we're going to jump right into this. Let's see how much Preston remembers of everything. So last time, as you guys recall, your group of intrepid adventurers had set out kind of in search of sorry. I deserve it. Because I do it to Corey every time. So you guys had set out on kind of seeking some different things, going to the Yawning Portal, and you actually had come across a couple of adventurers or people who had been talking about some nearby giants that had kind of set up camp. There was some oddities going on in the area, especially being as that giants, being smaller tribal creatures, aren't really known to congregate in a very large kind of place. At this point, hearing that there's a lot more happening, as you guys decided to investigate. Coming together between, remind me of your each of your character names.
Well, I changed characters since
I know
last
you
time,
changed
so
characters.
Continuity.
People don't know.
Error. My guy's name, he's a Warforged now, and according to like the lore, Warforged have kind of like just war-related names. So his name's Heartpiercer, but people just call him Pierce.
Pierce.
I like that.
So Pierce joined the party previously as a druid, but shed his visage and revealed his true form. He's in his final form now. So Colby.
I am Ander Rathalon, a
Perfect.
human male paladin. Hey, sweetie.
Okay.
Love you. He's not your typical like holy self-righteous paladin. He's a not retribution. Sorry, that's World of Warcraft. He's a some other kind of paladin. He's not broken. He's like something about vengeance. That his oath is.
The Oathbreaker.
Nope, it's not Oathbreaker. Sorry. Anyway,
It's a vengeance paladin.
nobody cares. Yes, he's a vengeance paladin, and so he's kind of gruff. He's got a few days of unshaved, beard going, and he's just a big, burly, 6'3", 220-pound hunk of muscle. That is intent on avenging himself against ogres orcs that killed everyone in his temple, but him.
After he had ransacked the temple's
Younger.
wares.
No, it was after they killed everybody that he took the holy
of holies.
the holy of holies and put on that magic belt and got the lightsaber and went out to avenge himself.
Perfect. And give me the name one more time. I'll write it down.
Ander.
All right. Reese, go ahead. Give us a 1-2 on yours.
I'm playing Kai, a halfling, half human rogue. It's like 4 foot, super snarky.
That's Kai, K-I?
Yeah, Kai.
Like King Kai from Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
Okay. Or Cobra Kai? I'll do both.
Yeah. She's also got a little bit of sorcerer in her, but people have yet to see that.
And so last time, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, this is a continuation on a one-shot that we did before because I miscalculated how long this campaign was going to be. But it's a secondary long-running campaign that we're going to call a one-shot. That is found in, for those who are interested, it is through D&D Beyond as well as your local bookstores. It's in the Tales of the Yawning Portal, specifically against the Giants. So if you don't want any spoilers, stop watching or keep watching if you want. The last time you guys had gone through and as you remember, kind of coming upon this large steading and speaking with a few of the locals, finding out that this large encampment, this large lodge, if you will, has been constructed of giant proportions, and that they had been terrorizing kind of the local countryside, looking for food, taking livestock, just ruining kind of everyone in the area's lives for the moment being. And on this very dark night, when it was very stormy, you guys had come up on this and found a couple of different guards kind of guarding the front door. You had been stealthy, kind of gone around the building, scoped it out a little bit, found a large pack of dire wolves, and upon entering the front gate, you guys were able to successfully undermine or kill these actually three hill giants who were found sleeping on the job after what seems to be kind of festivities. Upon further inspection in the building, and so a lot of kind of sneaky actions from you guys came upon a room full of orcs and half orcs and just all these people that were working together in the kitchens, trying frantically to feed these giants before they become the very next meal of these ravenous large creatures. So at this point, you guys had spoken and befriended in some form a enemy of my enemy type that has led you down these stairs, and you guys find yourselves coming down from these large stairs these large kind of flagstone, as you kind of have gone from this wooden portion to this more hollowed out and surprisingly quickly constructed basement cellar-like area. As you come in, you guys find that if you want to be able to see where you guys are at, I think you still have the roll 20, don't you?
Oh, we put it on the TV, didn't we? Or did
We tried to, I think.
Failed it.
I
don't remember.
Do you have
I've got it.
Do you have a Chromecast hooked up to it or anything?
No.
Anything that can cast?
An Apple TV.
You could cast to the Apple TV. AirPlay, if it's already there, I believe.
I'm trying to remember what my sign is.
So we'll see if we get that up real quick, just so you guys have a visual, and you can kind of see a little bit what's going on. But that's where you found yourselves at this point in time. The further that you come down these stairs, kind of the colder and chillier you get, going subterranean at this point, and the smell of kind of rotting flesh and just disregard for what you would suggest is human hygiene is very lacking in this place. You come into this area where there's these large tables set all about on the edges of the room. Each of them, let's see, from 32 to 1. I'll give you a specific. If I can get this. I'm trying to use the D&D Beyond app for this. If I could get it to go, please. Okay, there we go. All right, so come on. So you swipe right to change the page, and if you swipe left, it takes you back to the listing of all the books. I remember not to do that. Okay, so at this point, you hear above you, in kind of through the rafters. You guys hear more of the creaking and the crunching and the just the sounds of merriment that you would expect from a bunch of just crazy people. So as you come in, you're going to see a cluttered room, and basically it looks like there's an area where there's skins on the floor. There's a bed, a table, a chair, 2 boxes, several crates, barrels, chests with odds and ends of armor, weapons, furniture, tableware, all of which are of giant proportions. So like if you were to try and wield these, obviously they're going to be a lot heavier than your normal stuff. And as you guys are entering this room, if you could all make me a stealth check, please.
Okay. Sorry, we're...
No, you're fine.
Oh, critical failure.
Uh-oh.
I use a reaction for my bountiful luck, and you get to reroll.
Wow.
Oh, nice. Thank you. I'm gonna roll a different dice. I'm scared of that dice now. All right.
I forgot to mention that I'm super lucky.
18.
Perfect.
18 plus 5, 23.
23, okay. Hope this doesn't screw up. Control L.
If you want, you can just...
28.
Sorry, like
If you want, you can just sit
They
here and
updated
look
their
off of my
hotkeys, son of a gun.
screen.
Okay, so everybody,
I got 28.
28. Okay. So far, as long as Colby doesn't roll too low, I think we're good.
Sorry.
Are you wearing, speaking of which, as a paladin, the armor that you have, is it considered disadvantage on stealth checks?
It's plate mail, so I'm assuming...
It's plate mail, yes. So you're going to have clinking, so go ahead and roll with disadvantage on that.
Okay. 10 plus probably not much. 12.
12, okay. So kind of coming down the stairs, you guys are all deftly just moving. The Warforged, the halfling, right? You said halfling?
Half human, half halfling.
Yeah, he's half and half.
Okay, half human, half halfling.
He's a half halfling.
I'm going to call you a gnome.
Quarterling.
I'll call you a quarterling. All right.
More like a 3/4.
So you come down, and as you guys are kind of entering this area, you hear in the distance kind of a gruff voice, kind of barking orders, different things. One of which, and kind of like the sounds of scraping and chains, and specifically, you hear the sound of a very large creature calling on. No, you all need to be quiet. Settle down, sit down. No, that's not enough. Do this, and he's just going on rambling, very kind of discordant. He seems, and you hear the kind of the grunting and grumbling of what sounds to be like a large ape-like creature, or creatures plural. If you guys want to roll me a perception check, this particular, let me make sure the scale on this.
This is a terrible first start to the game. Another natural one.
Natural one. As a reminder, the squares on here are they are 10 feet.
Not worry about it.
So when you're looking at them, Reese and others, they are each of the black line squares are 10 feet. Each of the smaller squares, the subdivisions, are 5. So
okay. Sorry. What kind of check are we rolling?
You are rolling a perception check.
Okay, so I got a 17.
Okay. So 17. 6. What'd you get, Reese? I mean, Kai.
Hold on, I have to do the math.
Okay.
That good, huh?
16.
16. Okay. So with the 16, between each of you, you're hearing this, and you can kind of get a general sense of where it's coming from. Specifically, as you're coming down the stairs, it's kind of to your left and back into one of the corners. They don't seem to have noticed you yet. You did enter the room relatively quiet with a little bit of clinking, but he seems to be preoccupied and is able to.
Sorry, I moved out of your camera. I'm just gonna look on Dallin's thing, so I don't have to worry about the TV.
Where are we on this map?
So you are in 32. Well, I guess that doesn't really help you. If you go up to the top left corner and then come down and in a little bit, can you see your characters?
The stairs right there, I think. Didn't we?
Yeah, there's stairs. There's a bunch of. I'll ping on it. You see the pings?
Oh, okay.
Down there. Oh, is that us?
Oh, we're so tiny.
We're so little.
Yeah, you're
zoom in a little bit.
Little bitty people.
Those squares are. How big?
These squares are 5 feet. Your people are a little bit smaller than what they ought to be, but there you go. Scale them up a little bit so that way they're appropriate. I want to diminuate your feeling of being powerful.
Okay.
So you enter the room. Again, you see on the different walls, you see different tables, you see benches, and then you see what seems to be just kind of a common area down here. But you don't. So far, you haven't run into any creatures that have.
And these are all giant sized.
These are all giant sized.
Like,
yes. So they're like when you walk up to them, they're like eye level.
Okay. Wow. Got it.
Unless you're a quarterling, then they're
above
eye level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So, and the voices are up, or like kind of left and like ahead of us and to the left. You said.
Yes.
Like maybe over there. I feel like we're cheating, but
yeah. We can see it on the map, so I don't know if you want to hide things. It's up to you. You don't have to.
We'll try not to metagame too much.
Let me see if it's.
I actually don't know where we are.
Dim light reveals, fog of war enabled. Boom! Ah! Now can you see anything?
It's pitch black.
Okay. Give it just a second. I got it. This is one thing that I am not too keen on. I haven't figured out how to make it right yet. Can any of you see anything from where you're at?
I can see our characters.
I can see our characters.
But everything else is black.
Everything else is black. I think I turned one fog up. Turn that off. Okay.
That's okay. Yeah, that's good.
That seems like our vision.
Yeah.
Can you guys see everything on the map, or just where you're at?
Just where we're at. Okay. Like there's some benches.
It's hard to tell for me because it shows all the light sources for me, and so I can't tell what you guys see and what I can't.
Yeah.
I know there's a hotkey to do it, but they changed the hotkey, so.
Okay.
All right.
Well, let's see what all the ruckus is about.
Yeah, let's go explore where we're hearing those voices.
All right. So go ahead and everybody moving forward, make me a stealth check again, please.
Natural 20.
With disadvantage. Not good. I'm a
25.
25. Okay. So at this point, you're kind of walking up, and you hear him kind of stopping. Quiet down. He's kind of listening out for you.
I just put my arm and try and smack him.
He waits
into the wall or something. It's kind of
okay. And at this point, you kind of hear stop.
Don't worry, they can't smell me. I'm made of wood.
And so at this point, you hear kind of a slow scraping. You hear a slow scraping, and as from where you're at, who's taking on point on this? Who's in the front?
Probably the stealthy.
Yeah, it would probably be
quarterling.
Kai, right? I don't know which one am I.
I think you are the.
I think you're that big one.
Am I the big one or am I the?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think.
I'll let you guys pick and choose. There's a wizard-looking one. There's a black wizard-looking one, and then there's a little halfling with a knife.
I'll be the one in the back, the green one.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'll be the dark gray one, and then
Kai will be up front.
Yeah, Kai will be that guy.
Okay. Halfling.
It looks like he's got daggers, so that's
Dagger,
appropriate.
dagger.
Yep. All right. So Kai, do you look around the corner to see what's going on? You hear a scraping sound, similar to the sound of someone picking up a shovel, kind of scraping across the floor.
Kai.
Sorry, my wife called.
Okay.
What do we do?
We heard a
So
shovel sound.
you heard the hill giant like creature kind of say to quiet down. You heard the grumbling of the apes kind of come to a still, and then you heard a scraping noise like someone picking up a shovel.
Can you see where we are now, Reese?
Yeah, I can see it. So I'm the one in front with the
Yes.
red shirt.
Yes, you're the one in the front with the red shirt. And right now, you guys are kind of behind these they're bench chairs. So you guys are kind of behind the leg of this chair.
Oh, okay.
So so are you do you want to inspect right now? You can't. I know you can see him, but you don't have line of sight at the moment.
I want to make a perception check
Okay.
to see if I can see the hill giant.
Okay. Go ahead and you rolled high enough on the perception check that yes, you peek around, you see the keeper, and at this point he's kind of turned around, looking around the room. Make me a stealth check to see how you see him plainly, and he's picked up his battle axe. That looks like basically a big like I don't know 4x4 by 12 with an axe at the end.
So I rolled a 22.
A 22? Okay. So he does not see you. Let's contest that. Let's see. He does not see you. You see that he has a scar across one of his eyes. He has a hunch. He's real big. And behind him, you just get the glimpse of the shadows of one ape kind of in the background. A very large kind of silverback ape that's kind of just sitting kind of obediently, kind of the keeper. And he's got his hand back. He's looking around, and you hear him again, large, deep, kind of sniffing sounds. And at this point, he takes a step out into the room, and you hear him say, "Who's there?"
I whisper to Kai as softly as I can, and I just say, go get behind him. Let's jump him before he sees us.
Okay. So I'm gonna stealth behind him.
Okay. Roll me
to make my two.
roll me a stealth check with disadvantage because you're walking into an open space. You're walking basically like if you skirted the wall or right down there. Either way, you're gonna have to go into an open space. So go ahead and make me a stealth check and see if he. We'll go up against his perception again. Apparently, no.
It was a natural 20 and then a 1. But I'm lucky, so I get to re-roll my 1.
Okay, go ahead. The
And I
fates.
rolled 15, which puts the stealth at 20.
Yep, he rolled a 7, so you're good. So at this point, you're on his blind side, and he's kind of looking around. You take the moment to kind of come into the room. Let me roll for the ape to see if he... Nope, he rolls a 6 as well. So
I want to hold my action so that like as soon as Reese attacks, I charge in... Kai, sorry. I charge in roaring.
Okay, before we get going, let's do a quick initiative. You guys are getting a surprise round, and I'll just put you down for whatever reactions.
5.
9.
17.
Okay, so 9 or 17 for you. 9 and 9.
9 and 5.
5.
9 and 5.
Big oaf.
5, 17. Let me roll for these guys real quick. 14. And go ahead with what you're intending to do.
Okay. Guess that would be you, Reese.
Reese,
You're gonna attack him?
Reese is first in the initiative.
Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna attack him.
Okay. So go ahead and what's your attack?
You're an assassin, right? So in a surprise round, everything's an auto crit?
Yeah, so I'm gonna do two daggers. Hold on, I have to look. Okay, so I'm gonna attack with my dragon tooth dagger.
Okay.
On both hands, so I'm gonna do 2 melee attacks.
Okay.
Because they're sneaky.
Okay, go ahead with your dragon tooth dagger.
First one's a 17.
So that hits. Roll for damage.
Okay, so this damage is natural 20 damage, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So every
Correct.
attack is a crit this round.
So just roll your damage twice.
But just remember to not add the bonus until the end.
Correct.
So
Okay.
just double the dice and then add the bonus.
Correct.
Make sure that I like.
I have to look up my sneak attack damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2d12 or is it 3? Or sorry, 2d6 or is it 3d6 at your level?
I don't know. I have to look.
What level rogue are you?
8, so 4d6 damage.
Yeah.
Sneak.
Okay. So that was 40. How much was that total again?
And that.
I'm doing the math.
Okay.
I've learned that developers, in my experience, are surprisingly like really good with like all of the like left brain thinking, but for some reason addition with dice seems to come very hard.
Don't you judge me.
Hey, I'm mostly talking about Preston. I'll see him roll like a 9 and then be like, okay, 9 plus 3, so that's 10, 11, 12.
Yep.
And I'm like, so did you really need to use your fingers there?
It's because there's too much in your brain to remember how to add.
It's true.
I can do calculus, no problem,
First
but
attack.
addition throws me for a loop.
First attack is 36 points worth of damage.
Nice.
Okay.
Woo.
Okay. Second attack.
No way, because there's gorillas back there too.
A total of 20, so 12 plus 8.
Okay.
That hits, yeah.
Yep.
I rolled low on mine. You don't get your spell slots back until after a long rest.
Correct. Unless
You
you're
have
a
something
wizard.
called arcane recovery.
Second attack is 40 points worth of damage.
Ooh. Okay, 40 points.
And I think that's all I can do.
Okay. That's 476 minus that.
Yeah.
That's a solid first round.
Yeah. So at this point, as you're kind of coming up against this large hulking creature, you step past him and you see his chainmail, but you see there are areas that are very, you know, he's a giant with a hunchback, so he has a lot of kind of blind spots that you're able to find your way in. And you come in and be able to stick him, and he kind of comes back and looking down behind, trying to see what's kind of has beset him from behind. You see that, you know, as your slashes, they struck true and deep, but obviously being a very large giant, he's thick and corded with, and he kind of kicks back at you to get you off. And next in the initiative order for the surprise round, Pierce.
All right, I come around the corner and I just fire an arrow out of my arm.
Okay.
So let's see. So 19 to hit.
Okay. 19 hits, yes.
17 damage.
17 damage.
And then for my second attack, I'll just fire another bolt at him.
Okay.
So 23 damage, or it's 23 to hit.
23.
And then 12 damage.
Okay. 12 HP. Okay, so same thing, as he's kind of looking back, he gets stuck from front, and at this point he kind of swings around to see what's in front, and you see just like the sparks fly across the as his axe scrapes across the wall, and he's and this point it is Anders' turn.
Okay.
He's about to bellow.
Yeah, I run around the corner and say, "Face me, fiend!" and pull out my sun sword as I'm running towards him, and
Okay.
take. First, as a bonus action, I want to put Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay. So make sure and roll your extra 1d6, right?
It's an extra 1d6.
Okay.
So, all right. So let's see. It's oh boy. 30 to hit.
Okay.
It's
Yep,
ridiculous.
that hits.
Okay, and now
hits.
I get a 1d8 for my weapon, then a 1d6 for the Hunter's Mark, and then I have improved divine smite. Is that what it's called? Improved divine smite, which is an extra 1d8. So 2d8 plus 6. Nice. 12. 16 plus 11, 27
Okay.
for my first attack. And then my second attack, it's a 24 to hit.
Yep, that's
For 10, 12, 23 damage.
23 damage. Okay. Okay. So 50 hit points total between the two of them. Okay, so at this point, as you kind of come in, and he starts to kind of reach out and begin to bellow, and he, no, people, and then he kind of swings down at you, in the middle of kind of this guttural war cry, if you will, coming down to smash at Kai. You go ahead, and as you come in, you just slice him right across the neck, and as you hear the vocal cords just completely separate, and then the wind starts coming through, but not through his vocal cords. And at this point, he kind of grasps at his throat and stumbles forward on one knee and falls to the ground. You see in the background, you see the apes kind of and kind of getting really agitated at this point, kind of seeing their alpha, if you will, being contested. So with that, completing that round, we're going to start again. Kai, you have first in the initiative order, followed by Ape 1 and 2. And at this point, you are up here behind him, and you are here in front of him.
Okay.
So you see two apes behind you that are they're pounding the ground with their fists angrily. nostrils flaring, with just kind of wild look in their eye.
Okay, so it's just the 2 apes.
Correct. There's 2 apes left in there. Can you see them on your
They're in that in the bedroom.
Okay.
So I'm going to cast my first spell.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a sorcery point.
Okay.
And I'm not 100% what these do. But I think I can cast Quicken Spell.
Okay.
Which means I can do it twice. Is that right?
The quicken spell. Give me a second.
Yeah, it's super new to me, so I don't know it very well.
Read it off to me real quick. I'm still getting logged into on my phone because other one's being kind of dumb. Actually.
Let me. Oh, I have to pull up the actual clock.
No worries. I'm pulling it up as well here. You said quicken?
Yeah, I think it's Quicken Spell, or there's one of them that lets me cast
Haste?
2 spells.
Quicken. Oh, for the sorcerer, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. Pulling it up. Give me a second. No. Sorry, guys.
Okay. We're all like,
Yes.
I'm still like.
Sorcerers are very new to me, so.
Quicken Spell. When you cast a spell that has a casting time of 1 action, you spend 2 sorcery points to change the casting time to 1 bonus action for its casting.
Okay, so you'd be able to cast for in the case using the sorcery point, you can essentially cast 2 spells for the price of 1. Is that what I'm understanding?
2 sorcery.
For 2 sorcery points.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Because one would be your action, the other would be your bonus action.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and you can cast those 2 as your bonus action using those 2 sorcery points. Just mark them down.
Yep.
And then go ahead and what 2 spells are you gonna meta magic together?
Well, so I'm gonna cast a spell at one of the. Can I do it 1 at each of the monkeys?
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't say that it
They
has to be a
prefer
creature.
apes.
Apes, yes. They're much more proud than monkeys.
I'm going to do 2 firebolts, which is a cantrip.
Okay.
Get into wizard.
Just have to roll.
So a single firebolt would be a normal cantrip. Now you're using the meta match to shoot fire 2, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. These poor defenseless apes sitting in the corner.
Light on fire.
Okay, the first one is a 17.
17 for the attack does hit.
And the other one is a 21.
Both hit. Roll for damage.
Uh, 18 for the first.
18 for the first. Okay.
That's a strong cantrip.
Yeah.
And 17 for the second.
17 for the second.
Yeah.
All right. So as you're kind of sitting there, you turn around. You see these 2 apes just kind of getting a lot more unruly, kind of like pounding their fists and kind of posturing themselves in a very angry, attacking-like stance. And you just let off these, just kind of like fanning the. I'm like in Red Dead Redemption 2 mode. Just you fan the hammer and shoot them both. And each of them, you see this just kind of searing, hot burst of flame hit off of their shoulders, and you see this deep crimson kind of like charred flesh on each of them, and both of them just kind of looking getting even more kind of agitated at your presence. So first ape, unless you have something else that you want to do aside from your bonus action.
Can I shout out, get behind me?
Didn't you say that you can use 2 of them to have a casting time of 1 bonus action?
So it'll allow you to do 1 spell for your action and 1 spell for your bonus action.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and I
Okay.
only have 1 action.
Right.
Okay.
An attack per action.
Okay. That makes more sense then. Okay, so then at that point, do you want to use any movement?
Yeah, I want to hide behind Colby's character.
Okay. Mind you, when you do make your movement, there's a large hill giant corpse.
So that's like.
So you're gonna have to either climb over it or walk around it or something.
That like gives you, what is it, half speed or whatever?
Yeah, half speed if you're climbing over it, or you walk around it, or you can.
It's like 30
I would be fine hiding next to it.
Okay. Do you want? Are you trying to get on the other side of it, or are you just staying inside the room?
Get to the side of me, because that.
Yeah, can I get to the side of Colby?
What's your move speed? Is 25 as a halfling or quarterling?
3/4.
30
because of the human
30
part.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. Snap to center. So we go down here. Yeah, you can make it. You can basically skirt around and get out of there by going through the bottom. And each of the apes at this point.
I want to do that.
Okay, go ahead and move yourself where you're gonna go. Can you move, or it does not let you? There you go. Okay,
Nice.
so you go ahead and you move outside of the room. At this point, you see the apes, both of them start charging, just as they come going at you. Open up that thing. You're going, the first ape, being this one, he's going to leap over the top. You see him kind of take the chair, smash it with one of his fists out of the side, and you see it tumble off into the distance and comes out, and he's going to try and make his first attack at you. Specifically Kai, because you're the person that heard its master. It's going to make a multi-attack. The first one, both of them are going to be a fist attack. So its first roll is a 13 plus 5. That's going to be 18.
To me?
Yep.
No.
18 doesn't. Okay.
What's your armor class?
What's your AC?
19.
Wow. Dang, girl. All right. The other one is a natural 1. So at this point, as he kind of swings at you, you're kind of ready for it, and you push you take the momentum of his fist and have him kind of throw off canter, and then the second one he swings at you, and as he kind of where the impact would have hit, he ends up hitting the wall, and you see that it kind of scrapes his hand a little bit. It'll take a 1d4 because it was natural 1. It'll take 1 point of damage. And you see him just scraped his knuckles. The other ape, he is also going to charge. This one, let's see, he's going to attempt to leap over his master's corpse and come down on the first thing it sees. It's probably going to be Ander. Or no, I'm sorry, Pierce. He rolled a 3.
I'm all the way back here.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wait. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Ander, yeah. Oh,
So me.
I got you backwards. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I moved him up and not you because you shot your crossbow.
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was the gray one.
Yep. So he's gonna go running up, and at this point, you hear like what was kind of a leap. He kind of grabs onto him, and it starts to slide a little bit. So it's gonna take disadvantage, or it's gonna lose some of its movement. And at this point, kind of standing on the top here, it just grabs the nearest trinket off the giant off his chest, and he pulls off this large kind of metal coin that was kind of hanging around on his neck, and he's going to throw it at you as a ranged attack. That's going to be natural 20 plus 5, so that's 25.
Yep, that hits.
And it is 1d6 plus 3. That's a 5. 8, so that's 8 points of bludgeoning damage. And then it's going to look for something else, but it's not able to find anything to make a second ranged attack, so that's going to be the end of its turn.
Okay.
It is now Pierce's turn.
Yeah.
Alright.
You see this 8.
Aim at the one on top of the corpse.
Okay.
And I'm going to fire a bolt at it. But I'm going to use a... Actually, I'm going to save those arrows for a little bit.
Okay.
I'm just going to use a regular. 19 to hit.
It does hit. Yep.
Okay.
Does it high on your attacks?
11 damage.
11 damage, yep.
And then I'll just fire off another one at it. 25.
Hits.
For 18.
18. That does hit as well. So at this point, you see your opening as he kind of comes up and he's kind of pounding his chest angrily and like somewhat triumphantly in some ways. And you see quickly just it kind of pull back and you see it. And it's going to fall back onto the corpse of its master and kind of lull off into the room itself, dead.
Please. I'm going to move up then to make an attack at the other ape. So, first attack is a 26. Oh, sorry, as a bonus action, too late.
No, is it your hunter's mark?
Yeah, I was going to transfer.
It auto transfers.
You can as far as it's part of your whatever. When it dies, you choose target.
Okay. So I want to transfer it.
Okay. So this other ape.
Yes. So that is for 15, 24 damage.
Okay.
And second attack is a 27.
Okay. 27
plus
hits.
15. It's like
got some damn
even if you roll
a 1, it's a 16 to hit.
Suddenly the ape has armor instead of natural.
Is it a barbarian ape? He gets to rage and take half damage.
24 damage on the second attack.
Alright, so since this one was like pretty major overkill, how do you want to do this?
I just want to decapitate it.
Okay, let's just lob it off. So like at this point you're kind of fighting. The giant itself is kind of slumped in the corner and its legs are sprawled out. You're standing between its two legs. The ape is just kind of like smashing and kind of coming in your face. And at this point, as it kind of swings and hits the wall, you come in with your sword and you just see the head just hits the floor and the ape is also done.
Nice.
So you see the last breaths kind of escape. The floor begins to become stained with the blood of your enemies. The room is still quiet.
Okay.
Yep, the room is still quiet. You don't seem to hear anybody. So at this point, you think that you've gone relatively unnoticed.
Okay. Let's search the giant's body for anything of interest or valuable.
Okay. So on the giant's body, we have right here. Make me a investigation check. All right, just the body?
Yeah, I mean, that was my initial, obviously.
Okay, go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Investigation or sleight of hand?
12.
Okay, 12. So looking at him, you're kind of going through, aside from the chainmail, he has a large, I'll actually show you. This is what it looked like.
Ooh.
Real big guy. He has a single pauldron, iron pauldron, that's kind of the size of a cauldron on his shoulder. He's got his axe, but he doesn't have anything on his person aside from just kind of his fighting attire.
Like a key chain or anything.
Mm-hmm. The only that one large, it was kind of like a manhole cover that the ape used as a discus to throw at you. Aside from that, there's not really anything. And even that is just kind of more like an iron medallion. It's just kind of really
decoration,
basic scrawlings on it.
All right, let's search the room.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a perception check again.
Bad. 3.
Okay, so Ander just kind of comes in. The smell of the room, you're just kind of like...
I got a 10.
Okay. And what was yours, Kai? Investigation?
Hold on.
You're good.
I also got a 10.
Also 10? Okay. So you guys are, as you're kind of going through here, it takes you longer than what you would have expected to try to find things. But being smaller, you notice, more subtle things that someone maybe higher up probably couldn't have. You find a small plank that is just slightly dislodged from where it was normally at, and upon opening it up, you see a hole that has 1,250 gold pieces, 3 gems of undefined value, 2 more other gems that are of separate value, smaller, and then a large earthenware jug that has 4 potions in it of, you're not really sure. The shimmer that comes across them as you kind of move it and swirl it. You see kind of almost similar to something with like Alka-Seltzer, just very sparkling water, just kind of goes around. It's very effervescent and active.
Okay.
And that's what you find in his room. Now, there's a large pelt on the floor, and overturned chairs and tables, but pretty standard room.
Yeah, I just look around and say, divvy up the gold.
Yeah, let's do that. And I'll start counting. And then I want to make a sleight of hand check to see if I can steal any extra.
Okay, go ahead. Make a sleight of hand check, and then we'll compare it against everyone's passive perceptions.
Passive's not very good.
25.
25, does that beat
15?
15?
11.
11, okay, so you're successful in, let's see how much. I'm going to use a percentile die. You're able to get 60% of it.
Sweet. What was the original amount?
So this is 1,250 gold pieces, so 60% of that.
Like what?
Well, 125 would be 10%. Multiply that by 6.
It'd be like 800.
Yeah, 800 gold.
Like 800 gold, we'll say. And then the rest, the remainder.
So we get like 50 each.
It'd be like, yeah.
500, yep.
I just set my currency to 800 gold.
That works.
Yeah, because I don't know if I've even been tracking.
The gems, I'll say, are harder just because there's less of them, so it's a little harder to pocket those.
Right.
But for the gold pieces, you are able to kind of slide some off the top. So now the room becoming quiet again. Are you, let's see, I assume, or Pierce, you came up with the group, right?
Yeah.
Or you still out there? Okay. So that the room's kind of quiet. You hear kind of the same thing, the merriment that's happening upstairs, the occasional kind of like stomping as dust falls from the ceiling. You can tell that it seems like the main hall where all the merriment is happening seems to be above where you guys are at. A lot of very heavy footfall.
I kind of take the gold that he gives me as my portion. I'm like there was a lot more in that chest. But as I put it in my pouch,
I say, good find, little one, and just kind of rub your head.
And I give you that look like a mean 6-year-old girl gives you when you rub her head.
Have I offended you?
Okay.
I'm not little. Yes, you are.
No response, so I just I walk away.
Okay. Do you walk back in the room?
Okay, let's see. Pull up the map again. If you would.
So.
Alright, so sorry, out of character really quick.
Okay.
Remind me,
go for it.
What is it that we're looking for?
Okay, so you get as you kind of looked around,
we're talking to the
intelligence that you kind of gathered is that they are gathering around some kind of a relic that has been kind of twisting the area that seems to be bending a lot of what naturally would happen in these areas. Okay. Which kind of helps explain a little bit why there seems to be all these giants, and you're trying to investigate what exactly.
Right. What was it our conversation with the orc, if you don't mind me asking, just to jog my memory because it's been so long. She's like one of the cooks or whatever chefs.
Yep, there's two of them. There's a girl, and then there's the older one that she brought.
Right. That's right. That she took us to, and we were. What were we? We were saying like they wanted to like fight, like rebel. Yeah,
right. It was kind of like enemy of my enemy. They were like the whole passive aggressive type of fighting, but they didn't want to attack them directly because they didn't have the manpower to do so.
And so he took us to the stairs leading us down, but why did he do that?
You were asking kind of when you were discussing the relic in question. Yeah. He wasn't sure what it was, but he thought he saw someone had been taking it to one of the other floors.
Okay. So we're in search of that, essentially, the person who might. Okay. Correct. Thank you.
Can we investigate to see a possible path that we should be taking? Like, is there?
I mean, there's not like we can't smell it.
There's no like.
But maybe is there like giant? I mean, obviously there's tons of giants in here, but like footprints somewhere leading off a direction.
This room, like the rooms in here, like there's dust that kind of crops up against the walls and stuff, but there's not like any footfall path that goes one specific place. They all seem to be, you know, if where there are some, they're going different areas. You can make me a survival check if you want to try and see if you can identify it, but it's gonna be pretty difficult with the flagstone.
Survival. 4.
A 4, yeah. You're just at this point. You're just, you know, there's dust kind of looming in the air from what you've stirred up, but you don't see any clear indication of where it might.
I just look down at Kai and I say, "Okay, Pathfinder, scout us out a path. Where should we go?"
I'm gonna wait.
I'm gonna say, I believe in you. For some reason, I just keep thinking of like Baymax for my character.
It's actually pretty good. Every time we kill somebody, we got to do that.
Yeah.
I want to move my guy to where I want to go.
Okay, go for it. That helps me because I often forget to move your juice.
Where'd you go?
You moved up
I went north.
North. And you guys leave the corpses in the door, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, well, yeah. I wouldn't have thought about it had you not said something. So yeah.
I only say it just because I just like to get cognizant.
You know, honestly, I probably wouldn't have.
I'm not thoughtful.
I'm trying to kill, not to hide it.
Totally.
So I'm just like,
totally cool.
Yeah.
So I would have left it.
Okay.
Are we missing a person?
Me? No. Where am I?
Do I see anything around the corner?
Like on
Okay, so approaching up here, as you kind of peek around the corner, you see more of these roughly hewn hallways with the flagstone floor. This hallway extends for quite a long distance, at the end of which you see a little bit of light flickering, but you don't see anything specific. You see a few shadows on the wall, but nothing, like no sounds, no movements or anything. And then immediately to the north, so if you're turning left around this corner, if you're to walk down this hall to your right, there's another corridor that seems to go up further. So, but you don't see any immediate footfall or traffic.
We just kind of follow behind her, but then like stay around the corner until she maybe beckons us on or something.
Okay.
I don't think Dallin can move.
Yeah, I don't think I can move Ander.
Oh,
you know what? I have my laptop, because I've been working from home this week, so it's upstairs. So let me go grab it.
Let me add
you. Do you have a Roll20?
Yes, I do.
Nice.
Dallin Rogers, save changes. There you go. Now try moving.
Okay. Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah. Perfect.
Until Kobe comes back with his laptop and
right.
Then you'll switch it.
So moving up to there, are you looking down that hallway? Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, so I want to look north to see if there's anything I could.
Okay. So at this point, you look up, and in this particular area, it looks, at least from as far as, what is it, 60 feet for halflings? Do you have dark vision? Quarterlings? I know humans don't.
Humans don't, but I think the halfling part of you might have low light vision.
You check that real quick.
Let me check.
I gotta find that.
Okay. At least
dark vision to 60 feet.
60 feet. Okay.
Blind sight to 30 feet.
Oh, sweet.
All right. So as far as you can see from where you're at, that's about the edge of it. Looking into this room, you're seeing it's a very unremarkable room. There's nothing in it. The walls are hewn the same as everywhere else. You have the flagstone on the floor. I'm good, but thank you.
That's right. Sorry, you just got back from the gym. Good job. Alan?
I'm trying to keep my cards low. I get in trouble frequently for going over. So because
how about some lean protein?
Yeah, I'll take some.
That's one thing.
It does have some sugar in it, but it's not that.
That's fine. I'm not as worried about it. I'm more on the macros for protein and carbs and all that fun. Sweet. Thank you, sir. So Reese, yeah, just looking in that room as you're kind of peeking around the corner, there's not really any good lighting in this room. It seems pretty desolate. You don't see any football or traffic. It seems pretty empty on the interior of this room as you enter. Down the hallway further, you do see more the flickering of what seems to be torchlight at the end of the hall, but otherwise north of you, nothing.
So I'm going to go into the room.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm going to go into the doorway. How about that?
Okay.
And I can see that it shows me like that there's a hallway.
Yep. So you see a hallway to the left. Again, it's pretty dark in here. There's not really any torchlight. And the further you enter into the room, you do see that the back of it looks like this part of the cavern is still in the process of being excavated.
We step up and kind of get up behind him, by the way.
Okay.
Or at least like kind of, out of the view of the doorway or whatever, but...
Okay. You guys get up in there?
Yeah, we'll just be on either side of the...
Yeah.
Perfect. Go ahead, Reese.
So that doesn't seem interesting to me.
Nope. So the end of at least from where you're at, there is the other hallway, but it's dark.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the party. Do you want me to check out this hallway that has the unfinished room? Or do you want to go down this hallway past who I'm assuming is Dallon's character, whose name I forgot?
Make me a stealth check. I'm assuming you're doing this stealthily, but go ahead and make me a stealth check.
Oh, yeah. Stealth all day.
My other group, they walk into this cave, and then they were like, hey, what's going on over there? And then I was like, all right, click. Waterfall.
23.
23, yep. Okay, you're good.
I say let's go down the hall.
This one?
Yeah, down like to the west.
Okay, so you're gonna go to the west. Say again?
No, sorry, that was just
the number. Oops. Okay. So go ahead, and you guys are creeping. I'll let you know as you're walking, kind of coming down this area. You hear two kind of like low, gravelly voices, and the sound of what sounds like stone, kind of sliding slowly against each other. And these voices are very gravelly, and you hear, every so often the scraping of a chair. But this conversation is very low and not kind of like audible. All you hear is just kind of like the low kind of murmuring, I guess you could say, like a white noise that you can't really tell what they're saying, but you can hear something going on down the hallway.
Whatever that is, it sounds big. Talking to big.
Say, well, should we try and ask them if they know where do we know the name of the thing that we're looking for, or we don't? Okay.
This has been just giants have shown up, and you've heard now that you've talked to those orcs, you know that there's some kind of artifact that they seem to be the reason of their coming together, but you don't know what exactly.
Okay. I say, well, whoever's down here, maybe we can try and take one of them captive and question them about what they're doing here.
He sounds like a pile of rocks talking to a different pile of rocks. Do you think you're going to be able to talk to him?
I don't speak giant, actually.
How do we kill rocks?
Common, draconic, goblin, and orc.
Common, draconic, dwarvish, gnomish, and infernal.
I speak common.
That's all.
Yeah.
So, definitely not negotiating our way out.
Well,
I vote we go back the other way.
I have no diplomacy.
It's possible that they speak common.
I vote we go back the other way.
Fine. Lead on.
So I'm going to head back towards
Okay.
The bodies.
Okay. Everybody make me a stealth check as you're going along. Make sure it's with just the if you got plate mail on.
7.
7? Okay.
Stupid
22.
22? Okay. So as you guys are kind of walking down the hallway, most of you are able to go pretty well. And then Ander, as he's kind of walking, his plate mail scrapes the wall. He's walking a little too close to it, and you hear kind of like you hear the gravelly kind of voices stop for a second, and you hear someone, the large booming voice like, and you see Ander, if you turn around, you see a large stone giant kind of turning the corner, seeming like he doesn't seem malevolent. He just sounds like he's just gonna like, who's there kind of thing.
Does he see me?
He roll with the stealth check. Yeah, he sees you.
Okay.
Let me make sure. Yeah, he sees you.
Okay.
So he kind of turns the corner. He kind of looks at you, cocks his head a little bit, and then he looks to the other one. He's like, or he looks to the other side of the room, and you hear him speak more in giant. Just.
They sound threatening, and I just fire a bolt.
Wait. Oh. Hey, Max. I wanted to ask him.
And as he turns around and he gets the arrow shot at, go ahead and do your arrow. He kind of looks and he shrugs at the other ones. They're all there. Kind of.
I didn't play the Thor Knocker this time.
And he goes to sit down.
18 to hit.
18 hits.
Okay.
So would we be where we are on the map?
No, you would have basically gotten to about the corner around to turn right here. You'd have been about right here when this happened. He would have been the last one around the corner. The rest of you probably would have been rounding the bend.
Okay. I don't have
16 damage.
16 damage, okay.
What's this game called? Because I have Horde of the Dragon Queen on my ability.
I need to give you the link. Reese, do you mind private messaging? Do you have, if you want to jump into Discord real quick, Reese, can you private message him that link I sent you?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, and that'll give you access to it. So
Colby, I'm not sure I know your Discord.
I think it was just Colby, wasn't it?
No, I think it's Lopson.
LOUP.
You're extra spell.
You see that one in there?
There, it's Ari. I just joined. Now we're gonna double feedback.
I'll meet you. Hold on. At least on that side.
Ari 2 R's.
Yep. I'm in the same channel as you.
There you go.
We're in the Twilight Zone.
Muted. All right. Oops. There we go. Back to the action. By the way, if anyone is joining us in the chat, I do not have eyes on it. So if you're talking, I apologize. I am neglecting you.
Let me pull up Twitch and see if it
I'll pull it up.
Okay. I know we had some people in the Facebook chat. Scott popped in, Corey popped in, a couple other people.
Oh.
So, hello, our regulars.
Hi.
More work? Okay.
Ziggurat says no talkie.
No talkie. Someone want to check that for me? Make sure that the mic's actually transmitting. We're all pantomiming.
Reese can hear us. Oh no, we're on
Twitch is what I don't know. Reese, do you mind checking that real quick? Just as a preemptive strike.
You can hear music, but I don't think you can hear us talking.
Yes, the mic is working.
I'll crank it up.
This is up.
Because I show here.
You can hear the music, but you can't hear us.
Check out my melody.
I can hear you guys.
Okay. Alright, that works. If anything, it looks like I only have the microphone going. I'm surprised that it's doing the desktop audio too. But okay, so Stone Giant.
You know what? That was probably coming from Roll20. Since I have that pulled up too.
That's true. That's true. You might have it muted. Oops, don't want that one.
There we go.
So resolving that, as the kind of Stone Giant kind of turns around, he kind of shrugs, and he kind of goes to sit back down in his chair. You hear as this are these crossbow bolts or are they arrows? For Pierce.
Sorry,
shoot crossbow.
They're arrows.
Arrows. So you hear as this arrow just kind of, what it sounds similar, like if you were to shoot a wall of just stone, it just scrapes off the back, and you hear it, and he kind of like rubs the back of his head slowly, and he turns back, kind of incredulously, looking down the hallway.
I just hold my hands up. I'm like, sorry.
And at this point, he kind of reaches and not really like he's attacking, but he does grab his kind of mining pickaxe and puts it on his shoulder. Mm-hmm. Just kind of like.
I just have my arm, bow, and arrow, whatever.
I just reach out and I lower his arm.
He kind of cocks his head at you, and he's looking. He looks a little bit perplexed. Your kind. He's not someone that he's seen. But he just kind of stands in the other one in the room. You see kind of the lights and the shadows move a little bit as he steps into view, kind of looking around his buddy, also holding his mining pickaxe. The two of them, when he calls out, he is speaking in Giant. So if none of you speak Giant,
you don't understand him. I just hold my hands up like this and I say, I don't suppose either of you speak common.
And the one Giant kind of looks at the other one. He kind of.
Then I say the same thing in Orcish. I say, how about Orcish? Either of you speak.
I mean, they hear the sound, but they still kind of they're shaking their head, and you hear gravelly response, kind of looking down the hallway. And you at this point you hear overhead, you hear a lot of just like kind of sounding like when you have kids upstairs and they're kind of running around.
Yeah.
You hear that, and then you hear kind of things falling. You hear some of the dire wolves kind of like sounds like they're in a game of chase of some kind. Merriment continues, and they kind of look up and they. At this point, look down the hallway, and he kind of rubs the back of his head again. And at this point, he's going to kind of walk down the hallway
towards us,
towards you guys. Let's see. Trying to make these guys not. Second to switch these from the right overlay. Layer, token layer, please. Layer, token layer. So he kind of saunters down the hallway, again with his pickaxe on his shoulder, and he just kind of.
How can we make ourselves understand? Don't speak sign language. Speak Giant. Draconic. I try talking to him in Goblin.
Okay.
And Draconic.
Make me a charisma check, and both of which he just kind of. He's just looking at you, just kind of like, whatever.
Now, are you wanting like persuasion or like a...
Persuasion, yes.
Okay.
We're based on your physical, like, body language.
12.
12, okay. He rolled a natural 1. Let's see about the other.
Not good or bad.
And he rolled an 18. The one of them... he kind of walks up and are you guys still over by the corner of the door? Okay. So as he kind of, the one of them, he walks up and just kind of stops right in front of you, and he gets down on his haunches, and you hear the kind of like grinding sound as he kind of looks you in the eyes, and then he looks over at you, the one who had kind of shot him, looking at the the crossbow, and he's gonna go. And he's gonna blow, and like your hair's blown back. You're not really any spittle coming out or anything. Just kind of like a dust and whatever coming off. And then he's gonna take his hand. And he's gonna tap you on the head, and then he's gonna stand back up. And he's gonna go back up into this room. And you soon after kind of hear these kind of clinking sounds of. He seems to be of some kind of a mason. And he's not really interested in what you're doing. The other one, however, seems a little more distrusting, and he kind of stands there and he kind of folds his arms and just watches you guys.
I am going to walk south.
Okay. You just kind of walk away.
Yep. Like I just have somewhere to be.
My hail. I get around the corner.
All right, I'll follow him. I'll just shrug at him and say,
if you walk backward, make me a dexterity check.
Okay.
I want to see if you fumble.
I think
not very good.
My dex is pretty high though.
Anything lower than a 12.
How about an 11?
So as you're kind of going back, you don't fall like flat on your back, but as you're walking, you're just kind of like, and then you kind of stumble a little bit and right yourself, and then go around the corner, and then the stone giant, you just hear kind of like a really throaty, just, but he doesn't seem to pursue you.
okay. Well, should we go south or should we wait until they're up there and try and sneak past them into their room that they were in?
I'm going to go ahead and keep walking south.
Alright, we'll follow.
Hey.
We gotta learn. We gotta get
I'm going to start to stealth.
Giant common dictionary.
Right?
Yeah.
Google Translate.
I'm telling you right now, the random encounters every time have been failing. Every time.
That's good for us, I
It's
suppose.
good for you. Less XP, but good for you.
I, as a monk at level, I don't remember what it is, 10 or something like that, or 11, I get something called like purity of mind or something, and I can understand every single language.
Dang.
And
That's
make
baller.
myself understood in every language. It's like,
That's super cool.
I'm being stealthy, by the way.
You are being
I rolled a
stealthy.
15.
I'm trying, but it's I'm kind of like
Okay.
throw my hands up like
So you guys are like, and then you hear him like walking down and
clank,
tink,
clank,
tink,
clank.
tink, tink. So you basically, Kai, you meld with the shadows. You are like one with the stone itself. But you kind of hear, you hear Andrew kind of trying to emulate what you're doing, and occasionally like scraping along, and just kind of rating himself. And
I keep my distance. I stay a good 10 feet behind him.
so you approach around the corner. You smell the beginning rigor mortis and decay of a large giant creature.
I think I do look over at that point and go, maybe we should get rid of this body.
Get on it, big man.
Pretty large.
Yeah,
I can help you.
I've got 29 strength.
Got 19.
I go in there and I'd say, you grab the legs, I'll grab the shoulders, and I try and like pull them into the room enough so that we can like close the door.
Okay. Oh, it's way down here.
A 12 on my strength check.
Okay.
Do you want me to make one or like athletics or something?
Yeah, go ahead and we'll do a combined strength check.
Okay.
It'll basically be like a 15.
Natural 20 plus 9.
Yep, you guys are able to easily kind of, I mean, it's a little bit of an awkward kind of shuffle, but you're able to drag him back into the room, drag the apes back in. After which, you're able to close the door and then make that room a little bit more less accessible than it would have otherwise been. Okay, so at this point you're both all down here. I think one of you is lagging behind. Let me see.
I can't.
Let me give you
I
access.
can't control that character.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. That should be me, but I don't.
Yeah, he has to give you access to move it.
I can actually control your guys' characters.
All players. There you go. I'll just put it as all players. Go ahead.
There we go.
Talia.
I'm gonna stay like, yeah. Well, okay. I help move the body in.
Yeah, so you guys kind of shuffle everything in. So from here.
I'm going to keep going south. And
Okay.
I'm going to super stealth.
Bases. Okay, so you're going down. You see a hallway that is heading to the east, as well as, and it goes up and kind of jogs up north to where you can't see. But it is a consistent hallway as far as you can tell, and then there's a door to the south of you, or two doors to the south of you. One on the east and one to the south, the southern wall. I'm going to use north, south, east, and west, but obviously you're in a dungeon, so you're not really sure of those directions.
Yeah.
But Just for very sake.
Would I be able to see the door that's here?
You would be able to see the door, but you're not necessarily like, yeah, like you can see the frame of the door, and you get a little bit of a lamplight on either side of it. But as far as anything else in the door, no.
I'm going to go to the door.
Okay. As you kind of approach the door, you start hearing murmuring from inside. You hear one that sounds to be like someone speaking in common, but it's unintelligible. It's maddening. Just very just random type stuff. You hear another one that kind of again seemingly human kind of sobbing as far as what's in there. Another that seems to be just kind of consoling, that sort of thing. And as far as you approach the door, you kind of see that this seems to be like a cell block or jail type door.
So I'm going to pull a 6th sense thing.
Okay, where you stick the knife on the floor and look under the door?
Yep, I'm going to look under the door.
Go for it. Make me an investigation check.
Investigation and not perception. That would be a 13.
13? Okay. So looking under there, you're able to kind of see into the room. You're not quite able to tell. You get the sense that there seems to be a cell block in there to the south, but you do catch a glimpse of 2 large humanoid creatures that are not changed.
But the others are in cages. I'm sorry, I wouldn't know. I just tap Kai on the shoulder and say, "What do you see?"
I see some people. Seems like there's a guy crying in there.
It sounds like more of a woman that's crying. It's a manly voice that's kind of murmuring to himself.
Can I open the door?
This particular door. Yes, this door is not locked. You're able to, as you kind of feel for the door handle, the latch mechanism, it doesn't seem to be locked in any way.
I want to open it very slowly.
Okay. It's trapped. There's acid in your face. Just kidding. Door slowly kind of creaks open. Make me a stealth check or a sleight of hand check to see how stealthy you're able to do this. You can do it without being noticed.
25.
Okay. 25. So upon opening the door, you're able to look down in. Yep. The 2 humanoids you can see more clearly now. Make me a history check to see if you recognize these creatures. Anything above a 12 would succeed. 18, yes. You recognize these as being bugbears, large humanoid creatures, usually pretty sedentary, but very ferocious when approached or when provoked. They both seem to be on guard duty, as far as you can tell.
So is the door open enough to where we can see inside?
I would say enough that if you were all piled on top of each other, yeah, you'd probably see inside. Yeah.
So I would like to cast Spider Climb.
Okay.
Which is a 2nd level spell. It looks like I have 3 slots, right?
I am not sure as far as...
So on D&D Beyond, I have 3 boxes that say slots.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so then you would have 3 slots. Great.
So I'm going to cast Spider Climb.
Okay.
Which lasts 1 hour, and I have the ability to move up, down, and across vertical surfaces and upside down along the ceiling.
Okay.
I am going to stealth into the room up the ceiling.
Okay.
And try to drop down.
Okay. Make me one more stealth check. And then at that point, yes, you that's activated. These ceilings are giant ceilings, so they're probably about 20 feet tall. The room itself is 10 feet across and probably 10, 20, 30, 40, about 50 feet deep. So go ahead and make me a stealth check. See if you're able to successfully kind of sneak into the room from the door, onto the ceiling, and then over to them.
21.
21? Alright. Check. Your perception. Stone giants with bugbear. Perfect. Nope. The first one doesn't see you. 12. The other one does not see you either. So you're able to successfully get into the room. The door left slightly cracked for the rest of you to see his movements, I guess. And you're able to make it above them, kind of down the hallway, without being noticed by. Again, as you come into the room, you can hear more clearly. You see as you pass in some of these jail cell, these dungeon type doors. Someone who seems to be a just husk of a man, a woman kind of sobbing and crying in the corner. The husk of a man is just kind of mumbling to himself, and then someone who's in partial clad armor that seems to be very kind of like beaten and well worn. One of these rooms seems to be full of skeletal just remains. And then the last one, you see a bunch of orcs kind of huddled into the room, kind of pushed into the last cell block. Five in total. Also behind bars. Bugbear's kind of sitting there. They're both speaking in Goblin. You hear them just back and forth.
I can understand Goblin. What are they saying?
You hear the two of them. They're talking back and forth, and you hear one of them say, "Oh, I don't have to be on guard duty. I don't know why I was picked. I've been doing it 3 times this month, and they're all upstairs eating to their heart's content, and we're stuck down here." And he says, "Well, don't let them hear you. You remember what happened to the last few of these rebels?" And he kind of, you probably wouldn't see it, but he gestures kind of towards the door with the orcs, and he says, "They don't do too kindly with these folk, and I'm surprised they let them live this long." And you just hear this kind of small, just guards talk back and forth. Nothing particularly descriptive aside from just kind of the back and forth and grumbling that they're kind of stuck down here while everyone else is having.
I want to question. I turn to Pierce, since he's the only one by me any longer, and say, I want to question these bugbears. I speak their language. Maybe they can tell us what's going on here.
Kai, what are you doing? At this point, if you wanted to be above them, you would essentially. I'm going to put you up here, but you should be.
Yeah, that's right where I want to be.
Okay, you're above them, kind of.
I'm just watching Kai, like trying to make eye contact with her, I guess, hoping that she doesn't just drop down and start attacking. But
so I'm gonna look at the door.
Okay.
Because I know I'm gonna need backup. I can't kill 2 dudes in like one go.
And I'm just gonna hold up a finger, as if to say, like, wait, like, like 1 minute. Let me.
I'm gonna give you this big like arm shrug, like I'm right here. Like, come on. Listen, what? Come on.
I think we need to hurt them to make it off.
I say, we'll find out. And I bang the door open, and in Goblin,
step to the side.
And in Goblin say, what's going on in here?
Okay. Make me a strength check on the door.
Yeah.
Shatters the door.
Natural 20. And poof, off the
just a straight strength.
Yeah, just a straight strength.
So that's a 24.
24. Okay. As you kind of throw the door open, it swings wide open, and as it hits, you hear a large metallic object become kind of smashed between the door for a second, and as the door kind of recoils and pulls back, you hear it fall to the ground, a large gong-like thing. Like sounds kind of like a cymbal falling to the floor.
F4 words.
And you kind of like open the door, and then they're looking at you and like kind of wide eyed, like, "Well, what's going on?" And
what I want to say is, we have some questions for you about what's going on here with all of these giants, and I try to be like intimidating, basically.
Okay. Make a We have an intimidation check, right?
Yes, we do.
An intimidation check.
That's a 23.
Okay.
Sorry, not a 23. 13.
13. Well, they rolled a 12, and they were -1 on their charisma, so 11. So the one of them just kind of like freaks out. The other guy, he rolls a 10. That's a 9. So both of them are just kind of like stunned and surprised. Loud clattering noise. Everyone in the room kind of goes silent except for the nobleman. He kind of comes to the door and he's looking and he's like, "Come on."
I look over them and in English I say, "We're here to help. Stay calm."
The loud noises. I don't do well with the loud noises. Come on.
And then I say to the goblins, "I speak your language," or to not goblins, sorry, the bugbears. I say, I speak your language, obviously, and it doesn't seem like you are necessarily allied with these giants. We're here to find out what they're doing, and if you try to impede us, we will kill you.
Okay. So this point, they kind of like, put their hands up and kind of set their weapons on the floor and just kind of like put their hands up for kind of surrender. And at this point, so as you're kind of asking these questions, they hear you speaking in Goblin, so they kind of return, and one of them says, "We are not told much, but we are here to work. We are here to earn our keep, our peace, our part. We have been told to protect this treasure here, and these other Cretans that have defiled the name of the orcs and have gone against our masters." Do you work for the giants out of free will, or because if you don't, they will hurt you? Well, as with anything, the strong are those who survive, and we serve them because it benefits us.
Say, what is this treasure that you speak of?
Well, they are here, and he gestures to the fourth door, essentially, in the skeletal remains. We have been told that these magical skeletons should be safe from thieves, much like yourselves.
I say, what's so special about these skeletons?
Again, we have not been told much that, aside from these remains, ought to be protected.
I say, very well. And what's happened with these prisoners? Why are they in here?
Some of them got too close for comfort. Others,
close to what?
Too close to our encampment. They were taken captive. Others were taken for political leverage.
And then I turn to the orcs and in Orcish say, "What's your story?"
At this point, the orcs kind of are watching this kind of back and forth. Just some of them seeming to understand this, others that don't seem to kind of have that. Most of them are a little bit shocked when you kind of address them directly in Orcish, and a few of them, they said, "Please, we are here. We are part of those who have resisted these giants, and we don't agree, and we are here when they spit upon us and think of us as lowly creatures, and we've been forced to do their bidding and their work, but we will do it no longer."
Say, we're in league with gosh, what was the guy's name? The chef, the servant upstairs. I didn't write it down.
Don't name him.
What?
Don't name him. Sorry, metagaming.
Oh, I'm name dropping.
Name drop.
I say we're in league with with those that were working in the kitchens upstairs. Watch for the time, and when it comes, fight.
And they kind of respond. And at this point, who else knows Goblin and Orcish? You? No?
I only know
How about you, Kai?
Nope.
So this full exchange, all you're hearing is like, and like just these back and forth. So all you're getting is kind of like the physical gestures. But as far as you from, they say, we cannot do much from here. You must release us if we are to do anything.
So I turn to the bugbears and pull out my sword this time. Kind of point at them and I say, why are the giants gathered? What is their purpose?
Make me an intimidation check.
Can I come down? I'm going to come down the ceiling.
Okay.
Part of the way and help with the intimidation check by having my dagger with the other guys. So I don't know if they notice me yet.
So do it with advantage then.
So I got a...
At this point, they do. If you're doing that, then they do notice you. They haven't up until this point.
I got a 17. 17?
Okay. So as far as saying it, they respond and we have been told to guard this treasure, but for the other reasons, we have only heard but rumors that they are bringing everyone together for some grand purpose. But for what, we know not. We just know that we have been promised glory and battle and much food and the ability to seek out our own.
I say, so your intent is to do battle upon whom?
And at this point, he kind of like shrugs and just gestures to pretty much everything in the room. Make me a history check.
19.
Okay, 19. So as far as bugbears go, you know that they are born for battle and mayhem. Mm-hmm. They are creatures of just like intrinsic, just chaotic evil. It doesn't matter who they're hurting. They take a lot of pride in being able to just cause chaos. They a lot of times are in smaller packs. They survive by hunting things, but they're generally pretty slothful, and they usually try and get smaller goblinoids to do their own bidding. But for as far as them, they don't need a reason to kill or to do stuff. That's just what they do.
I say, if you're here to cause destruction upon this land, then we cannot let you live. But killing you unarmed would be dishonorable. So I pick up their weapons and I throw them to them and I say, defend yourselves.
Then I come around the corner.
Okay. So then you come around the corner. Okay, so as this battle begins to commence, from the clattering and what have you, make me a perception check since you're the only one out in the main hall. 10? Okay. Let me get rid of this. You don't see this. Oops. That's not the button I'm clicking. Dynamic lighting, please. Let me get rid of some of these.
I guess I should have been up here.
Delete. Delete. There you go. Now you should be able to see into there. So upon kind of engaging with this, and then the slowly kind of like rolling to the clatter of that gong like thing, you hear, well, you don't hear, the door from the south kind of kicks open, and there's a bugbear from the south that kind of pokes his head out, sees you, and then turns back to the group and he says, you won't understand, but you'll hear it distant the thing, "We're having foolish!"
Oh, crap.
I'm your son! And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
No! What are you, Corey?
So, great job with everything. I'm gonna for the XP for the giants and the apes. That is a total of 3,100 experience points.
Oh, I think I never set. I just did mine on milestone.
We did do last time. I don't recall. I'll have to look. I can go back and look at the footage to see what it was.
Oh yeah, mine just says manage levels.
Yeah, I just did mine
change it to
milestone.
Change it to milestone. Okay.
Or change it to
So there's that. What's up, Reese?
Yeah, mine has to be the same thing because I'm also on milestone.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and switch it to XP based. So from that, this is what we'll do next time. Bugbears.
Last on achievement.
And I'll get those prepared for that battle. For XP and for I'm gonna go ahead and give everybody inspiration for roleplay. I think, you know, despite not knowing your characters as much, y'all are getting into the roleplay and to especially, you know, like doing stealthy stuff versus, you know, being whatever. So great job there. I think that was everything that was just. Yes, so that's the giant, that's that. The other two giants were disengaged. There wasn't really a discussion, so there's no XP there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, thank you, anybody who might be watching. If you are in the chat and you've been saying things, sorry, I can't see you. Otherwise, don't forget, we are doing Extra Life. This is tomorrow, isn't it? No, tomorrow, so Friday and Saturday. We have 2 days left until the Extra Life 2018 24-hour LAN. We do the Extra Life stuff year round, so if anyone wants to donate, go ahead and go to fuzzy-squirrel.tv, and you can see it in the description for our Twitch channel. Next week, we are planning on a game Thursday, right? Normal game?
Pretty sure. I think so.
So unless something changes, we'll let you know. Go ahead and check out our Facebook page, Twitter, The Broken Spear, right? _Broken Spear.
Yep.
You can follow us on there if you want the updates, and we'll plan on next week resuming the normal campaign. But we'll put this on hold until the next time that we need a good filler. We can jump right into the action.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna die.
No way.
We're in a small room.
I know. So that's to our advantage.
It's a choke point. Yeah.
With two bugbears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
Did you ever play
15,
Left 4
16,
Dead?
17, 18, 19, 20,
Left 4 Dead 2, the best thing to do is hide in a bathroom and all the zombies had to come through one door and you just shotgun over and over and over until you ran out of bullets.
I'll let you know right now, there are 29 other entities that have just been alerted to your presence.
We need a mage.
I'm gonna go ahead and take
How about you
look
retcon yourself next time and get a good AoE?
We'll
prepare yourselves.
Guts or glory, it'll be death or
squeeze.
Or we can bar that door and take out these two.
Breathe it in, squeeze your cheeks, and get ready for a fight.
I shouldn't have given them their weapons back though.
Right? It was very chivalrous. And if it wasn't because what it says explicitly is like if you didn't engage them immediately and they found you, then they'd run up by the door and hit the gong. Mm-hmm. That's why I was making you have to do the thing, because if you're just throwing the door open.
Yeah.
So that was where.
What was the XP again that we got?
The XP was total 3,100 XP.
Now what about last time? We killed a couple of giants.
I'll have to look. I don't remember.
We killed like 3 giants. Or something like that.
Actually, let me go up one level and I can tell you a little bit more specifically, because I think I have stuff still on this board. You had 2 hill giants, 3 hill giants, plus the RPXP for talking to people. So 3 hill giants is. I can tell you how much they are. At least I don't remember what I gave for RPXP. Hill giants. One moment. Hill. Please. Hill. And one thing I always have a hard time is remembering. Give Hill giant inspiration during the game. Go. They're 1,800 XP apiece, so multiplied by 3. 2 of them, that'd be 3,600.
So divided by 3 is 1,800. Person.
Oh yeah, that's true. So just 1,800 XP per person.
Plus, this time was 3,000 what?
3,100. So just put that in there as kind of what's in there.
Total.
Yep.
So we're still a ways.
Yeah. Yep. So good job, guys. We'll be continued.
Thanks.
The one-shot extended part 2.
Dylan, what level are you?
We're level 12. 12.
Okay, cool. I thought you said 50. What?
Yeah, we all leveled up while you were gone.
Oh man.
That's perfect. All right. Well, yeah. Like I said, if anybody has questions, hit us up on social media. Otherwise, that's pretty much all the announcements. Next week, Thursday. This week, I don't think there's a game. Tomorrow, I'll double check. So look forward to that on Facebook. So thanks for coming. I'm gonna kill the stream.